What's up, guys, and welcome to another podcast of Just the Tip. So we're going to be doing some fun things today, but to start it off, I'm Josh.
I'm King Benjamin Cage. Messy hair, don't care.
That's right, baby. That's right. We got that flow. That flow for show.
The Goldilocks.
So today, guys, we're going to be sharing and talking about some topics from Frogran, a Twitch streamer being banned, all the way through some Wizards of the Coast jargon that is going on currently. So strap in. We're going to have some fun and talk about some stuff.
Strap in. Don't strap on.
Don't strap on. Wise words. If this is your first time joining us, this is a podcast where we cover random happenings, news, and just some stuff that's going on our minds. Thank you for showing up if you do, and tell your friends, man. Any support we can get, we do appreciate. Give us that like, give us that follow, or subscribe.
Spread the motherfucking moisture.
That is it. Make it rain. Make it rain.
Precipitation.
So, guys, the first topic we're going to share with you today is going to be on the Twitch streamer Frogran. So there was a recent ban from what I understand. So I don't know much about this. King actually did a little bit of research with this, but we're going to roll right into it. So, as the Hindustan Times say, who is Frogran and why did she get banned by Twitch? I'm finding out too, guys, right now with you. So, Frogran was banned from Twitch for 30 days following her controversial remarks. Do you think we should read this or play the video?
We could do both, but let me. I'll tell you what turned me onto this. A couple YouTubers. I'm a little late to the party. A couple days ago, covered this. And basically, you'll see. She just goes balls to the walls, fucking crazy, on some weird shit. And everybody's like, why the fuck did Asmongold get banned? And this chick gets to say this, and she's on, like, you know, the Twitch, like, she's highly viewed. And she's actually been in, what the fuck, it was almost like a con type setting where there was like a panel where she sits with other people, and then, like, you know, how on a scale of Jewish to, you know,
they do like round tables is what they're
somewhat like, but she's super cringe. I think she talks just to hear herself talk. Yeah. Which, you know, which seems to be a fucking popular thing anymore. But no, read into this and look at the video, and yeah, look, I'd be interested to see what you had to say about this.
All right, so Frogran was banned by the streaming platform Twitch after her controversial remarks on U.S. soldiers. So the ban followed after she wished U.S. soldiers get PTSD in her recent live stream on the streaming platform. A clip from the stream went viral on the internet, causing immense backlash on X against the streamer. Wow. So that's just a snippet of it, but before we move further, Asmongold, how long was his ban? Do you know? Was it an indefinite one?
I think it was. I can't speak on that. I don't know if it was like 30 or 60 days, maybe 90. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can look it up and figure it out.
I was wondering just off the top of my head, is there consistency in these penalties?
That'd be interesting to look up. We can look it up while we're on here.
That could be. So let's keep rolling with this first, though, so we can see and then we'll compare it. But the streamer was recently put on a 30-day ban by Twitch after she made controversial remarks on the U.S. military. According to the clip from the stream going viral on X, she said that I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military, boo fucking who. I hope you get PTSD. Well, you don't take any liberties or any of your freedoms for granted, do you? Or understand it?
Yeah. Oh, it's just much better when you watch her do it because it's just even...
So she also added that those who acknowledge their mistake do not deserve PTSD. She said that the U.S. military, that they are like, yeah, you know, I did this back then, but I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Fuck imperialism. Fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. Okay. So here it is, though. Let's take a look what she's got to say.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
Yeah, she, like,
casually eating
corn chips in her. Like, I'm gonna use up all my unlimited data here.
Oh, she's hammering eggs in this. Egg count 54.
You know?
Same, zero pity. I don't know how you can forgive
the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers. are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. The U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Like, fuck imperialism. Fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Well, this is somebody that clearly just doesn't understand that those are people doing a job.
I will.
She just said you deserve it and you were doing wrong. Wrong is a perception to begin with.
Yeah, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here and do the same thing I did with Asmongold and say it's not what she's saying, it's how she's saying it. As somebody, I could say that, as an individual, I could say that our military is used as lapdogs. They do corporate bidding for corporate-owned politicians. If there seems to be
like guarding opium fields.
Right. If there's someone needs some freedom over here, hashtag I need fuel, lithium, oil.
The guys from South Park had it right years ago. America, Team America,
Yeah.
World Police.
So I will say that, again, they're used as lapdogs.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, with media outlets, we manufacture consent to go to war on the pretense that it's for freedom or this is a authoritarian regime in a certain part of the world. And some of these soldiers are in it because of the benefit packages. They want to have a career and they want to support their families. And this is how they're shoehorned into doing it. And then they're lied to and told, hey, go do this. And they're asked to do a lot of things that I have had, experience with some of my friends where they came back, they just weren't the same person.
Oh, yeah.
They were asked to do things that humans aren't really meant to do.
Yep.
And they could never shake it. And then they either like their life was never right or they ended their life. And so it's very unfortunate on all fronts. It's unfortunate that our men and women that go over there into these spots and quote unquote fight for freedom, they're getting lied to by the very crooked politicians that say that, well, you shouldn't have guns to defend yourself at home. You shouldn't, this is not a right, this is a privilege. It's the same people pushing the buttons. But what she's saying is she just said it better, kind of like Asmongold, like she just said, hey, kind of the way I just said it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't say it to be offensive because, like, again, I support anybody that thinks they're doing the right thing. The only thing I would have to say is to do your due diligence before you go doing what you think is the right thing. The equivalent of someone coming up to me in a bar and just saying, hey, this person here wants to sleep with your girlfriend, your wife, and then wants your mom or whatever. And they initiate this fight. They get you into this fight. And then they hold your jacket for you. And then they run your fucking pockets. And then when you're done and you're looking for that, that payout, they're gone.
Yep.
Yeah, but she's just cringe. Just the way she carries herself here. Like, it's just shock value for that. Like, I don't know. She could have said she could have got her point across a little bit better. It's not what she said, it's how she said it. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering what Asmongold's ban was compared to her 30-day ban.
So I'm just reading this too, and I'm trying to. What was anti-Semitic in there that she said? Is it because she used the term genocide?
I don't know. That's another banner right there. The anti-Semitic thing is just.
Yeah, I see that. But
It's heavily overused. Like you did.
Yeah, because she's trying to claim it was because of that. It was interpreted.
But there was
as
other stuff.
anti-Semitic.
I've seen her on other videos and stuff where she sat there with a panel of people, and then they had this, what category does this person follow under? Are they Arab or this, that, and the other thing? Almost like the color code thing on Family Guy.
Yeah.
Where they hold up the color code thing. Something similar to that. And she was she's just, I don't know. She's fucking crazy. It's racist, one, to, kind of fucking say shit like that. And that's another term that's used a lot, but like to accuse other people of certain things. But the anti-Semitism thing with me is just anytime somebody holds a certain group of people from Israel accountable or wants to hold them accountable, it's anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, because Israel is they've been in a lot of shit. They do have disproportionate responses to certain happenings.
Yeah.
And some of them are proportionate, but like they've been a war state. They've financed wars. And then everybody says like it's the Holy Land, and this is another cult thing for me, is where people could say it's the Holy Land, like this is God protects this land.
Yep.
Do you think God, if this God does exist, the atheist part of me here, do you think this God goes, well, fuck all the other lands? It's just like these are my people right here. These are my neighbors right here. Like all these other people, y'all secondary as shit. I rock with these people. How the fuck does that sound? Because if it was this God who's all knowing and all forgiving, he wouldn't just select a certain part of a world in a very vast universe of worlds and say just this spot right here. Don't fuck with everything else. Cool, but right here, no.
Mount Zion right here.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, that's the classic
Cult
term.
inside cult.
No.
Cults be culting with other cults, and that's just where I don't know. That's the critical thinking part of me.
I do still think it's strange how we operate as a nation that does say we have the freedom of speech, because whether you regard her with or agree with her or not, this cancel culture is insane now. It's never used to be.
It's always existed.
Oh, sure.
It was more so on the right before.
Well, it was also a cancel culture that we weren't immediately connected with social media either, so
Right.
we didn't know about everything.
Right, everything's more highly
saw
publicized.
actors stop being hired, stop this, stop that, and nobody really knew why. Now it's just constant.
Because everybody's got a platform. Everybody can go on the internet and say this, and like nobody and people are very surface dwelling animals, and they will just see what they saw and echo it and not even look into it and see if it's actually
Just
true
like
or not.
this, I didn't know anything about Frogran, and for me to actually try to paint a picture of her, I don't know her, but it would be completely unfair for me to surmise something off of this 37 seconds of reading,
Right.
and the 1.5 minutes of video.
Right,
That's the way mentality is today.
right.
It's wild.
No, but cancel culture's always been there. It was more so on the right before, and now the left has it. And then with the access to the internet and stuff like that,
Yeah, age of information just brought it all straight in front of us.
right. But no, if you don't I'd rather people say what they got to say, because then you can kind of assess who they are as people. Like I'd rather know if someone's racist, because then they're not going to get my finances. I'm not going to buy into their product or whatever they're selling. Like, go ahead, wear it on your shirt. I don't give a fuck. Or if you're anti this, you're anti like that just says something about you and whether or not I want to fuck with you. So it's just kind of like, if that's the cover to your book, I don't want to read your story.
Right.
So
Yeah, you were able to skim that page right there.
right there it is.
Next topic, guys. We're going to roll into current happenings in the presidential debates and race.
There's no debating.
No, there's not. There was one. There's not.
Word salad.
That's it. So the latest piece was on CNN. Anderson Cooper interviewed Kamala Harris. And the portion we're going to bring up is about the border and our policies on immigration. So I'm going to flip back over to the screen that you guys can see. And this is Cooper presses Harris on supporting border bill after calling border wall stupid and useless. We'll right into it.
Sounds like
Let's
she's
talk about this
projecting.
compromise bill that you want to pass if you're elected. You said that's going to be a priority. It includes $650 million in funding for the border wall. That's something Republicans wanted. That was part of the compromise. Under Donald Trump, you criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember,
Cringe.
Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a
come
bill
on.
that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question,
3 years to
part
do
of
it,
it was to acknowledge that America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing.
Announcing another
let's just
candidate?
fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on it? Let's just fix the problem.
To fix the problem, you're doing this
Democracy.
compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So
Anderson.
you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Wait,
I think that her saying
Dodging?
that's all she does. She can't answer a fucking question. Like, she is terrible at that. Like, you could bring a topic up and, oh, it's funny that you want to talk about such and such. Well, such and such and such and such without answering the question. It's kind of like, remember in class when you got an assignment and you had to be so many words long? Oh, yeah. It's her. That's her right there. So many words without any context whatsoever. I met the quota for words. And you just recited the same thing over and over and talked about why it should be talked about. And that's her.
You know what I got from her right there was she is still in, and granted that's what she was trained in, but she is still in lawyer mode because everything she just did was try to defamate something else.
Yeah.
She was
Redirect.
attacking, right.
Yeah.
And that's why she used the subtlety of a smile and a laugh. All this other stuff that she was doing is because she's still in that mode of.
Yeah. I've said it before, her body language and her voice that goes to it. And I'm not just picking on her voice, but you could tell the authenticity of anything she says just by the way she composes herself and the way she says things. And she's an empty vessel, man. Like, Democrats, you could do way fucking better than this. Why wouldn't you run Hillary Clinton again? Maybe get Clinton versus Trump 2.0. Like that. Like, why the fuck would this is what your representation is? And you weren't democratically elected, but you're protecting democracy. I drove through my neighborhood, side note, and I saw so many. It's alarming how many Kamala Harris signs. Now, I think the yard signs just tell people who's more retarded than the others because, again, not a Trump guy. Trump derangement syndrome's on both sides. There's people that are obsessed with him. I've said this many times if you watched our show, and if you haven't, you've heard it here. But the reason I go at the left way harder than I do the right is because they don't hide or have any shame in what they do.
Laura Brown 24 gives us a follow. Thank you very much.
Hi, Laura. Thank you. But I go at them so much harder because, like, if you remember during the times of the cooties pandemic and they were calling for people's jobs and their careers and saying, hey, you know, if you don't go get this experimental hokey pokey, then you should not have a career. People that lost their businesses. These very same people, like, I'll even give a shout out to a local guy, Bizarro.
Yeah.
His Facebook posts and how he went, like, people would call him out and stuff. He was such an a-hole to them. And now his signs are on people's yards. A very authoritarian approach to this stuff and not letting humans be humans, not letting them interact, not letting them have their business. And you have the nerve to fucking run for office again? And then the people that are so cognitively dissonant put that fucking yard on their sign knowing that, try not to acknowledge that any of that shit has happened in the last 4 years.
Right. Laura, we're located in Pennsylvania.
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie.
Yeah,
That's it. But you know what? It's also a lot easier to, and neither King or I are affiliated with either party. But it's a lot easier to pick on the left today, though, because it's a lot different what it means to be a Democrat today than what it did back when Bill
old
Clinton.
school. Yeah. Just like feminism. Old school feminism, I rock with it because they had a good message. They had a, like, hey, we deserve rights. We deserve to be
Human.
acknowledged. Yes. Yeah. Now it's just like, it's like every other banner out there. It's just a big collective and screaming, but there's no content coming from it. It's just like,
Yep.
But no, the reason to go at the left way harder is because they're very good at a lot of things. They're very interwoven with, what was that?
That light went out.
Oh, okay. They're very interwoven with pop culture. They get all these people. I think they just had Lizzo do a thing for Kamala Harris, and she's like,
Right.
And Lizzo came out and she said, well, maybe if she gets elected, the rest of the U.S. could be just like Detroit. No fucking thank you. You said that out loud. Like, do you know what you were saying? Or is this really the agenda? Because I don't think a lot of... there are good parts of Detroit that are flourishing business-wise and stuff like that. I'm not denouncing anybody that's from there, but they're like, there's some parts in there that you just don't want to fuck around in. But no, they're integrated into pop culture, and they're so good at accusing the other side of what they're doing.
Yeah. Well,
They
what it's
gaslight.
become is it's look at how loud I can yell.
Yeah.
So it must be true. It must
Right.
be right.
Right.
And that's just a common culture, not even just in politics. It's so common in society now.
It's like a cut and paste fucking rhetoric. I'm going to repeat what I've seen and heard without any type of investigation into what I'm saying or
Right.
knowing what I'm saying. Like, I just want to be heard. Well, okay. Well, I don't want to hear you anymore. You keep saying what everybody else is fucking saying.
Yep. Yeah, were those even your thoughts to begin with that you're so passionate
The
about?
left is very, very good at like gaslighting people. They're very good at integrating into pop culture.
Getting people to capitulate to what they believe too.
Right. And the
Yep.
right they play too nice with them. They play way too fucking
Which
nice
is
with
so weird because I think back to like the Clinton era, and it's always almost flipped. Like as far as how I remember right just getting so loud and being so passionate. It's just a strange time to be alive.
Well, you had your religious zealots and stuff like that, and there's still a lot of them that are coming out and they're trying to incorporate, church and state, which should be that's
Not
cult
even
and
a
that's
conversation,
yeah,
yeah.
that's cults and cults. I don't want any part. I don't want either cult. For
Right.
being honest, so why the fuck do I want two of them? But they're just I do think the pendulum is starting to come back the other way though, because you can only be wrong so many times before people get fucking fed up with it.
Yep.
But again, it's very alarming to see any of these political signs simply because everybody's got their feelings. But like the fact that I'm seeing so many leftist signs when they've been so wrong and had like they were not a party of peace at all for the longest time. If you remember, like, Kathy Gifford holding up a severed president's head.
Oh, yeah.
Like all that stuff. Like they spoke this hate on this dude. And then if you show any type of like angst against them, then you're transphobic,
That's
homophobic.
labeled.
Put a phobic on there.
Correct.
And you're also misusing words. They're good at misusing terms. Phobia is a fear of. Nobody's afraid of people that are gay or trans. No one's afraid of them.
Yeah.
What else? Woke. Woke is supposed to mean you are aware.
Awake and aware.
Right.
Yes.
You're very understanding of the situation and the situational awareness.
It used to mean a good thing.
Yeah, and now it's stay woke. You are asleep at the fucking wheel.
Yeah.
Just no woke.
Stay manipulated.
They hijack words and fascist. That's another word that they use out of context. I don't even know what a fucking fascist is. During this interview, she called Donald Trump. That's her whole campaign there. Donald Trump's a fascist. Donald Trump this. Donald Trump that. What about you, bitch? Tell me something about yourself that I want to vote for you. And don't do it with any cracks or aches in your voice.
Yeah, stop just defamating like the presidential debate. The two of those fools just going up there and all they were doing was nobody talked about. I got a plan. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Donald Trump doesn't have a plan. Well, she doesn't have this.
Can we get a rap battle at least?
Yeah, a mic drop at the end, something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I mean, or like your mom jokes, something. I don't know. It would be better than what the fuck I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
This person is not indicative of a leader. She is not. I'm just saying the Democrats could have done a way better. You went from a guy who's doesn't have many of his faculties left to word salad who just redirects, zero accountability.
Yep.
Pass.
Yep. Pass. So our next topic, guys, this one was just something random that King and I started talking about. And it's actually because we had a visitor here in the
Unscheduled guest.
yeah, in the Just the Tip studio. So we actually just spotted a friendly stink bug that lives in practically every state. He just kind of flew up and landed on the ceiling, and King decided it was time to hold it hostage. But
Yeah, I taped him there until the show is over so I can go dispose of him.
yep. So I told him as soon as I said that, I asked him, have you ever seen or heard of kissing bugs? So if anybody's unaware, I have major ADHD, so I start researching this stuff when I see this. So I'm like, what is that? And then when I saw a picture, I'm like, it looks like a stink bug. So stink bugs and kissing bugs are both out of a family called assassin bugs. They're known to kill other bugs and regulate that, and they all have these little stingers that flip down. But a kissing bug looks like a skinnier version of one of those, just a lot scarier. So before I flip over to this, I actually found one in Erie, Pennsylvania, sent it into a place in Texas that confirmed that's what it was, because there are other two bugs, that and I think what's called a wheel bug, which are both assassins. They almost look like a kissing bug, but they're not. Kissing bug has this long, if a kissing bug's about an inch long, 3/4 of an inch is its stinger.
All right.
So what this does and why it's
packing some
bad,
heat.
yeah, that bug is hung with a stinger.
Right.
So what this thing does is it attacks androgynous zones of humans, but it leaves behind what's called Chagas disease, which is from a bacteria that causes flu-like symptoms, but generally can kill anybody who is sickly or children within a week. And your struggles as a full-grown, healthy adult are still real.
So this is going to be a very informative, for myself included, version of Just the Tip, where if you see this motherfucking bug around, don't build no kissing booth for it.
No.
And then try to get people to kiss it. But look at this, and if
So
you
check
see
it
it,
out.
keep it away from your pets, your children, and yourself.
So this is an older article, and they've been here for about 5 years, but not a lot of people even knew about them. But check it out. It looks just like a actual stink bug. It's a little bit thinner in this area right here because the stink bug has more of that shield look.
Yeah, it's got
But
the
this is
armor.
what they say is look for red or orange. So the main difference between this and a wheel bug is on a wheel bug they have what looks like half a wheel on their back leg.
Okay.
They look almost like this, but this bug itself has a massive stinger that lays from its actual head. You can actually see it start right there.
Jesus.
And it's folding down and comes
And
right
that's just
to
the
its bottom.
tip.
That's just the tip. But just a little bit of education and randomness. If you see these, do not
Do not engage.
do not engage.
No, engage with
They
a
can
fucking fly
fly.
swatter.
You should not touch them with your hands.
No?
No, because that disease is actually on them and inside of them.
Jesus Christ.
So if you're killing them, like I just grabbed a fly swatter
Yeah.
and just whap, hit it right against the side. But they do attack animals as well as humans.
Yeah.
But they typically go for your eyes and your mouth, but not fun because it even shows you about hospitalization and everything.
Gross.
But shows you that nature still has some power.
Yeah, man. Don't fuck with these dudes, man.
Yeah.
They're out here not consenting and kissing, and that's just not a...
No, it's 2024. What are you doing, bug?
You gonna get canceled. Keep fucking around.
Yeah, we're going to cancel kissing bugs. So, on to another type of regulation. Wizards of the Coast. So, this is something that I just found out about that they were doing, but this is something I'm very familiar with the businesses I've ran and that I work for. Either a non-competitive act, which is generally if you're working in one business and they do not want you to share trade secrets, they don't want you to share anything about that business, but that they generally also make it so for 2 years' time you can't go work for a competitor. This is more so about controlling your freedom of speech more than that. That's just a non-compete clause. I can't go work for a competitor.
Right.
This is saying that I now, as the Wizards of the Coast, are looking to have people be able to not speak negatively about what we're doing or have done if you've ever worked for me, even if the contract ends.
I have to know if this was strategically done, Spencer Bakul, if I Am I said that correct? That's the name of the person doing it, because it's got Zangief.
Bakuli.
Okay. He's got Zangief choking out a bear. Is Zangief like Wizards of the Coast and the people that work for it, the bear? Like, you can't say shit, motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's very serendipitous. But Wizards of the Coast, who's now owned by Hasbro, and Hasbro loves some profits. They're going to keep pushing out product. It's all about profit. Their toy lines are actually
They're about volume.
Right, they're about volume.
Yep.
But is that, continuous income. But like the quality of their toys as a collector, as you can see, has diminished. Their paint apps, the plastics. I don't even really buy Marvel Legends anymore because they don't look as good as they once did. They're not putting any effort into it. And now they own Magic or Wizards of the Coast, and it's set after set after set. When it used to be like 3 or 4 sets quarterly, or not quarterly, for a year.
Yeah, they had their core set.
But now it's like a month and a half, sometimes a couple weeks. But they've had some very bad practices in the past couple of years, and I'm not sure if I brought this up on the podcast, but there was a proxy set where they were going to print reserved cards from the reserve list and put them in packs, and then there was 4 packs with 15 cards, which is 60 total cards at $999. And they weren't tournament legal. They were just proxies. So there was another site, Card Conjurer. People were going there and like proxying cards out, and he got a cease and desist. But that was actually a really cool fucking site. But then there was also the thing where the Phyrexian, I think it was a Phyrexian set that came out, and some dude ordered it off Amazon and then got delivered the set that was coming after it that wasn't even out yet. So we did a live stream video, and I want to say this was in Europe somewhere or in England or something. And he opened them live on stream and spoiled it. And then the Pinkertons came, took his cards, told him to take the video down. Like, they sent their own version of the FBI or whatever they are.
The Men in Black came for their cards.
Yeah, dude. And then they fired a lot of people that were like some of the geniuses that came up with a lot of these concepts and got a lot of the integration into other IPs with secret layers. Got rid of all of them, while the CEOs and the higher ups were raking profit after profit. Like, they weren't taking a pay cut.
Right.
They weren't pulling the Nintendo aspect where the guy was like, we're failing, I'll take a pay cut so we can fucking succeed.
The Japanese honor right there.
Right. But there are some really shitty practices that have been going on with Wizards of the Coast. And so this right here is just kind of like putting a chokehold. Yep. Shut the fuck up. If you work here, you leave here, you don't say a fucking word about our practices, because you can't call foul. It's you can't hold me accountable for anything that we do here.
So the non-disbarment clause, which in theory would prevent them from ever saying a negative word against the game or company for the rest of their respective lives. So they literally just are like, nope, stifled. Yeah. And there's going to be so many.
That's a card, by the way.
In that. Is it?
Yes, it's a card. It's
nice.
Counter. It's 1 blue. Counter target activated ability or target spell, I believe. No, it's counter target activated ability.
I would say that would have to be a blue card.
Yeah, definitely. Control.
Just with that
Control.
name.
Yes. Stifle.
Yep.
But back to you were saying.
But with this, it's literally just telling somebody what they can do for their life. But there's going to be so many loopholes, just like in an NDA or a non-competitive act, that it really doesn't ever end up working that way.
Yeah.
Same thing just happened with Nintendo with only 10,000 people. They got people that actually are part of subscribers to their online service, 10,000 of them, to test something, and they all signed an NDA. Within 5 minutes of it going live, it was on the internet of what it was.
Yeah.
So, and there's not a whole lot Nintendo can do to that person because they don't work for them.
Right.
And non-disclosure acts don't really do a whole bunch if you don't have something to end.
Yeah.
They can end your employment over it.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot they can do unless they try a defamation case, which on a mom and pop, what are they going to get?
Right. Blood from a stone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But that kind of stuff, it happens more than we think of, but that's wild, because all this does is also allow a company to not worry about what quality products they put out or what they're doing with their own intellectual properties, because now, hey, you can't talk bad about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why do you not want?
You don't like that?
Like,
No, we don't want to know.
Don't you want to know when you're doing, like the old saying goes, if you tell a fool that they're wrong, they'll hate you. If you tell a wise man where they went wrong, they'll appreciate you. You guys are playing the part of a fool because you're going to collapse in on yourself. You're flooding the market with cards. Their power creep is real. I don't know if you know what that is, but like they're making every set has got to have a card that like already fucking surpasses the set before. And like, I'll find a card in a set. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna put this. This is great. This will go great in this deck.
Yep.
And then by the time I even get to run it, they got another card that's gonna replace it, and it's faster and it's better. So power creep, like, like it's making it. But they're gonna flood it, man. Like,
well, and all this stifling. So, like you were saying, why wouldn't you be able to talk about it? But on top of it, I oversee over 200 people, and what I've always said to everybody in any meeting I have, I ask for ideas, I ask for feedback, because my people are the largest generator of ideas.
yeah,
I can take something and run with it. However, I can make my own ideas too, but are 200 minds better than one? Simple. Why would you not want to know if somebody that works for you or worked for you says, this didn't work?
right.
Now, there's a right way, just as even with the Frogran thing, there's a right way and a wrong way to say something. So you should be able to voice that to that company or even outside. But this is mainly not about, don't come tell me, don't tell other people you don't like it, is mainly what this is saying.
Right. So a lot of these people that are like, and I watched someone like Josh Lee Kwai or whatever. He's on the Command Zone, and I used to watch them because they play Commander live, and I kind of like after a while watching it, they'll have like celebrities on it, like Post Malone, people from like Cobra Kai and stuff, and they'll play it, and they always end up being the ones that win for the most part. And I'm kind of like, is this rigged? Yeah. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I have my doubts. But somebody like the Professor, I don't know if you know who that is. He's huge, like Tolarian Academy. He's got a great show. He will come on and he will be like, hey, you know, are these Commander decks worth it value wise? Don't ever pay more than market price. The functionality of the deck, he really breaks it down. He doesn't work for Wizard of the Coast, but it makes me wonder if it's going to trample over into him because of his promotion of the game itself.
Right.
Like, hey, you can't say anything bad. I don't know that he can or whatever, if he'll get demonetized. I hope not, because the guy's very knowledgeable and I appreciate his content.
I can tell you if Wizards is supplying him anything, though.
Yeah, they might just cut him off.
And especially since it's their intellectual property, they can say what people can do and can't do with it.
Right.
Hey, if you're going to say this about us, we're not going to let you do this.
Right. So that's a very almost communist or fascist way to look at it.
Yeah. Stifling, man. Blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
That should be the thumbnail. The thumbnail for this video should either be stifle the card or two kissing bugs in a kissing booth. Man of ideas. And speaking of ideas, let's go to the merch store. Let's see that new hat that I...
So that actually is the next part that we're flipping on over, guys. So let me share my screen with you again. I'm going to get this going and then flip it on over. So I'm going to go to the actual store.
Don't go to the...
That's why it's nice to be able to share what we want with you. We're pulling it up right now, guys. All right, so here it is. Just the Tip merch store. So once again, if this is your first time checking us out, thank you very much. There are multiple ways to support us. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. But you could also get some swag.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Something that King and I were working on a little bit ago. The text message number one was hilarious that he sent me. So it was your mission if you choose to accept it.
Yeah, I please to aim.
We are aiming to make America moist again.
Fucking A, man.
Check this out.
I'm tired of these dry spells.
Check it out. This is probably my favorite piece just because it reminds me so much of the actual MAGA hat.
Yep.
But guys, this is actually embroidered too. So this is not just a print or a silk screen.
Yeah.
This one is actually embroidered. And there's a couple different styles that we ended up coming through and King put up on here. But Man, did this turn out cool.
It did. We are ordering some. And from afar, people are like, oh, it's a fucking Trump supporter. Nope, it's a moisture supporter. Precipitation. Let's get fucking damp.
Let's get moist
Yeah.
with it.
But we also have well, I don't know. There's the playmat right there. And there's other playmats that are on there with me and Big Bad Brad. There's me right there, Sakasha Ray artwork with the anarchy thing. I might
There's
have
a fucking Make America Moist Again towel.
Yes. Yes. So when you're too moist, you could, absorb some of that
Control your
moisture.
moisture.
And we might make a playmat, but I play as a Magic the Gathering player.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that play Lorcana, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. These are playmats that dimensions are very large. You can probably use it for a baby yoga mat if you wanted to. But we're gonna
36 by 18.
36 by 18.
Or 18 by 16.
We're gonna.
So there's two of them available.
I think I'm gonna have Josh tweak those a little bit. Give me a little more color in the background, maybe this weekend. And then we're gonna have another one with Josh and myself on it. Look at Make America Moist Again. Coffee
And look at that
mug.
price too.
$8. $8.
That's fucking great.
Doesn't get much more affordable than that. And
That's
what
great.
goes in a cup? Nothing but moisture, baby.
Nothing but moisture. So, guys, if you want to support or see this, it's just on streamlabs.com/justthetip2024. You can do /merch after that, but if you just do just the tip 2024, it will take you to this site for us. But anything you buy off of here will just help us increase what we do here on this stream and help us give us a little bit of funds to continue to evolve and continue to improve this experience for you.
No,
guys.
we also got a new little bit, we switched up the setup a little bit here.
Heck yeah.
Maybe mine doesn't look so much different, but I made it more comfortable for Josh over there so that we're actually looking at each other and not.
Yeah, you
he's
can
not-
actually see that when him and I are talking now, we're actually looking at each other.
Yeah.
And so it makes it.
The only time I look to the right now is I'm looking at the screen that he's
Yep.
we're talking about on here. But other than that, no, it's coming together a little bit more cohesive. So.
Heck yeah. Guys, we normally do this stream on Fridays. Generally, it's going to be around 1 o'clock. There have been a few hang-ups that have been coming. I do have a birth of a child coming in a week from yesterday. So there's going to be a few just slowed down pieces from me, but we're going to keep this train rolling, and then we'll get right back into this as normal.
Hopefully we can try to get a Wednesday nighter out because, obviously, you're gonna have a child Thursday, and I don't want to see your ass over here Friday, man.
Yep.
It's time to that's the family time. That's the bonding experience.
That's how you get a divorce before you get married.
That's correct. So, no, and congratulations to you on that.
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you very
but
much.
yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna, whenever you can squeeze away, and try to. If it ain't gonna be a Friday, we'll make it on a weeknight where
Yep.
the baby's sleeping.
And we'll keep this rolling. If you guys have any ideas or any coverage that you would like to see, let us know. We're not afraid to really talk about or converse about anything. We talked about Magic the Gathering, Bugs, and Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
We'll kind of mix it all up. So
Next episode, crotch crickets.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But guys, join us again on next Friday, and we appreciate your time, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Deuces.
Stay moist.
Yeah.